Wow, I have no idea what just happened there. That's the first time I've ever recorded this thing and had it go into feedback like that.
Well, it was only on my end.
Wow, that was pretty crazy. Go nuts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll figure that out for the next one. Yeah, production values. That's awesome. Well, nothing like getting off to a rousing start here on Painting with MenothJohn. Apparently, the Bob Ross family has decided to send ghosts through my computer and to attack the use of the Bob Ross theme. But welcome, and welcome back to Painting with MenothJohn. I have a co-host tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to John Spencer. John, say hello to the folks.
Hey, folks.
Hey, everybody out there. Looks like we've got a couple people in the chat room here on Twitch TV. And I would appreciate it if you'd let me know how the sound levels are. This is the first time I've had this new rig that we're talking about. Oh, we're starting to fill people in. We've got we got a half a dozen people watching the show right now. And let me know how the sound is, and I can make some adjustments while we're still early on here in the show. And then hopefully I will be able to lock it in and make this a high production value. As you'll notice, we've got a few changes here at Painting with MenothJohn. We have we're in a new studio. Okay, great. How does our guest sound? John, would you say a few things? Where are you from, and what makes you think that you deserve to be on my show?
I am from the Baltimore area in Maryland, and I was drinking your soda because I'm always available.
Exactly. We appreciate that here on Painting with MenothJohn. Our crack staff, isn't so good at getting anything like as far as setting anything up for the show, and as a result, these kinds of things happen. So, but hey, well, one thing we're also gonna change up. You'll notice that we have our beautiful new sign here on Painting with MenothJohn. I drew that with crayons and a Sharpie marker about 15 minutes ago. So as you can see, production value continues to be our number one goal here on Painting with MenothJohn. And I had some feedback in the Mark I version of this podcast. As you remember, Mark I was fairly broken and overpowered. So they redid all the point values for Painting with MenothJohn Mark II and made Jax more relevant. And I got my new sign, and we are going to release the Kraken right away on the podcast. I hope that each of you out there in podcast land. Okay, so we're hearing that John's should be a little higher, so we're going to crank up the volume there a little bit. I've got powered microphones so that we can jack that up a little bit. And
I moved the mic a little closer to my mouth too, see if that helps at all.
Okay. Hopefully, did you guys hear that? If you could comment on John's volume again. But I would invite each and every one of you. We're drinking once again the Kraken. We're releasing the Kraken with Kraken rum here on Painting with MenothJohn. I've got the monkey glass back from season 1. So each and every one of you out there, here's a hearty Ron to you. Hey, Ron! That's good rum. Whew! It's been a while. All right. Hey, and Nevender's in the house. Awesome. So, tonight on Painting with MenothJohn, we are going to paint, because that is what our show is all about. And tonight we're going to be painting Ashland DeLise. I've had this model for quite some time. I got it from Jeff Osili from the greater Indianapolis area. Hell of a great guy, otherwise known as Sexual Chocolate. And he is a great fella. I put it together, and I'm going to paint it up. Now for tonight, we're going to go with a more standard color scheme for her. I'm going to be using Citadel Runefang Steel for her armor. We're going to be using the brass balls for probably some highlight colors and for sure the flagpole. We'll be doing using a little Signar blue base for the flag, and then also we're going to paint beaten purple over the top of that. And then probably some moldy ochre for the crown and things like that. But rather than talking about all this hoo-nah, why don't we go ahead and get going? So what you been up to since Mark I Painting with MenothJohn?
Oh, a lot of stuff. tournaments. Me and my crew went to the ATC, had a good time.
Nice. Now, that was done in Murfreesboro, right?
Yep, Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Nice. I can at least pronounce Murfreesboro, by the way.
Indeed.
It's not...
see some celebrities.
Nice. So John Damaris must have been there.
Oh, no. I was talking about JVM.
Oh, my God. That's even better.
JVM, great War Machine player. Not quite so good at King of Tokyo.
Doesn't know when to stop pushing his luck, does he?
No, not quite. But it was a great time. I had a personally really great time. My team, not so much. But I was undefeated on day one, but my team only won one round, so that should tell you about their records.
So, you were playing King of Tokyo with JVM.
JVM, Chuck, and Keith.
Nice. Now, did they? What particular monster was JVM playing? Was he doing Mecha Dragon just to stay with the whole Legion of Everblight theme, or did he branch out?
No. It was Keith tended to take Mecha Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Or the Panda. I don't remember. It was quite some time ago, to be honest.
I know. We're going back into the memory banks on this one. It's King of Tokyo is one of my all-time favorite games to play with my kids.
Yeah, it's great. We just introduced some more people at the store to it yesterday.
Nice. I picked up the Halloween expansion, and I really like that one. There's a jack-o'-lantern, and then there's one called Oogie Boogie, who is pretty cool to play as well. For those of you who, do you suppose we should take some time and explain King of Tokyo? Is there anybody in the chat room that has not played King of Tokyo? Because I'd be more than happy to go over one of my favorite games, and it does kill time. And we're all about killing time here on Painting with MenothJohn.
Absolutely.
I'm seeing here that Neek, you played some King of Tokyo. Okay, Tedco has not played King of Tokyo, which gives us the perfect opportunity to go into some King of Tokyo. So for those of you who are actually paying attention to what I'm doing with my paintbrush, you notice that I'm just slapping silver willy-nilly all over on her, because that's what I found is actually a pretty good way to do silver armor, is just go nuts with it and come back and fix it later. For King of Tokyo, it's a game that was created by Richard Garfield, who created a small little game that you may have heard of called Magic the Gathering. And it's a press your luck game. So you have 5 dice, and John, have you played the game with the expansion, with the power-up expansion?
Yes, I have.
Okay. We're going to explain the game from the standpoint of the power-up expansion, because really you need to get that expansion. The game is fun out of the box, but the power-up expansion is basically mandatory. Wouldn't you agree?
Once they've learned how to play the basic game, absolutely.
Yeah. So the basic game is you're playing as kaiju monsters. And the kaiju monsters are, you play, one of them's a Mecha Dragon, one is a Cyber Bunny, which is like a very angry rabbit in a mecha outfit. And then you have a bunch of different kaiju monsters. The Kraken. Hey, the Kraken! I'll drink to that. So I have a little more Kraken there. Then we have, but they're all functionally the same. I mean, essentially the monsters are there just for fluff and to make it funny and happy and fun. The idea is that there's a playmat, and you are either in Tokyo or you are out of Tokyo. And the way you get in Tokyo at the beginning of the game is you have to roll punches. And the way you do that is you have, is it 6 dice or 5? 5 dice. And you have 5 dice, and on those dice are the numbers 1, 2, 3. Then there's also a claw that looks like that's for punches. Then you have a heart, which is for healing. You've got a lightning bolt, which is for energy. And you have, that's it.
Yep.
And you have a card which has your health, which starts at 10. And there are some cards that will heal you and things like that. The hearts heal you. And Then there's also stars, which are victory points. And there are two ways you can win this game. You can either win by victory points, which is you have to get to 20 victory points, or you can kill all the other monsters, and by reducing their health to 0. And when you are in Tokyo, when you roll punches, you punch everybody outside of Tokyo. When you are in outside Tokyo, you punch the monster that's in Tokyo. So why the heck would you ever want to be in Tokyo? Well, the main reason you want to be in Tokyo is that every time you go into Tokyo, you score a victory point. And if you start your turn in Tokyo, you score 2 victory points. So there's a lot of incentive to get into Tokyo and kind of stay there a little. But the downside is everybody out there is punching you and reducing your health. Anytime that the monster that's in Tokyo takes damage, they have the option to get out. And if they get out, you have to go in. So it's not even optional. So the way it works is you start your turn. You get all 5 dice, and you roll them all, and then you can keep any number of them, or you can re-roll any number of them. And the way you score victory points is if you get 3 of a kind of numbers, you get, let's say you roll 3 threes, you get 3 victory points. If you roll 3 ones, you get 1 victory point. If you roll 3 twos, you get 2 victory points. If you roll 4 twos, let's say, you would get 2 victory points for the 3 twos, and then you would get 1 additional victory point for the 4th number 2. Does it make sense, John? Am I explaining this worth of crap?
That's exactly how it works.
Okay, cool. Are those of you out there listening to all this crap, are you actually like understanding what the heck I'm saying? Okay. Well, if you're not, I'm going to do the best I can. So, because that's how much MenothJohn cares for each and every one of you out there. So, we start off, we roll the dice, you get 3 rolls. At the end of the 3rd roll, you've got to take whatever's on the dice. And then you add it up, and for every lightning bolt that you have, you get an energy cube. Energy is important because energy allows you to buy cards. And there is a deck of cards that you can purchase the cards which give you special abilities or one-time effects or continuing effects that make your monster more powerful. So energy is a good thing. You want lots and lots of energy if possible. If you roll hearts and you are outside of Tokyo, you heal. Okay? And healing is good because you don't want to go up to 0 health. If you are in Tokyo and you're rolling the dice, and you roll hearts, you cannot heal. Okay? So there's a lot of incentive to get out of Tokyo once again. The other thing that being in Tokyo does is, like I said, when you punch, not only you're punching everybody, so you can do a lot of damage to all the different monsters all at once. With the expansion, the power-up expansion, if you roll 3 hearts, even if you're in Tokyo, you get a mutator card. And that mutator card can either be a one-shot or it can be a continuing effect that gives you extra abilities or increased damage or whatever. It'll say right on the card. So it's an easier game than my disjointed explanation makes it seem as though it is. So.
Yeah, the new people picked it up real quick yesterday. We had like 3 people learn it at various times.
Yep. I played a ton with my 10 and 7-year-old, and they just love the game. And my 7-year-old was asking me when I was Skyping with him the other night that he was asking me about whether or not we were going to play that when he got home. And I'm like, yeah, we are. So, anyhow. So, John, have I missed anything in the explanation of King of Tokyo?
No, I think you pretty much got it down.
Okay. But it's a super fun game. It's a typical game lasts maybe, if you had like 4 players, I want to say it'll last maybe 30 minutes.
Maybe 30 minutes. We had one last about 45, but that was like 6 people starting. It was out.
Yeah. So it's a very, very fun game. Oh, hey, Cameron says hi. That's great. Cameron is a blog from Dice Rage TV, friend of the show, super cool guy. Okay, there seems to be.
You asked how King of Tokyo is at 2 players. I personally haven't played at that level. We only play it at the store, and we can always get a crowd there.
I have played it at many point levels. Here's what I've noticed about the game, is that at lower point levels, the incentive to leave Tokyo diminishes. So what you end up having happen is a lot of times a person will get themselves jammed into Tokyo, and then will just sit there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to start it at less than 3 players, I don't think.
It plays much better at higher player levels. Because if you're inside, if you make it around, if you're playing a lot of players, that's pretty miraculous.
Yeah, because early on in a 2-player, you just wouldn't take any punches if you could help it, and just try and be the second one. Let them get in Tokyo first, then just all punches all the time.
And then and just punish them.
Which is how Keith Christensen plays it all the time. Pretty much all punches all the time.
Because he's a terrible human being.
That's fair.
So, I was at, speaking of Keith Christensen, I was at War Machine Weekend here a little bit ago, and Joe Tan, one of friends of the show, had asked if I had seen any spectacular paint jobs, or to give kind of my take on what War Machine Weekend was all about. And I have to tell you guys, if you're anywhere near the Midwest, you got to go to War Machine Weekend. It is a tremendous party. It's I consider it to be the best party of the year. And this Ashland model, by the way, right now is teaching me a truism that I did not listen to on this model, and that is paint from the inside out. Because I'm going to end up redoing a bunch of her armor, because I'm trying to do her cloaks now, which are in between her legs.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So for those of you playing along out there, yes, I am between Ashland's legs right now.
Heyo.
Pazinga! I hate that show.
I've never really. I see it a couple times with my mom, but that's it.
I won't watch it.
Really? Not even just. I think you and Nathan should watch it sometime. Watch his head explode.
Oh yeah, that would be really exciting. That would be really exciting. To me, it seems like it's patronizing.
The one episode I remember seeing with my mom had Will Wheaton in it, and that one was actually pretty funny. But yeah, it does. A lot of the clips I see seem to be a bit patronizing.
Well, the guy, from what I can tell from watching Tabletop with Will Wheaton, one of the executive producers is kind of one of his boys. So, at least it isn't Scar's undies. There you go. That's a callback, and that's professional podcasting right there.
What do you expect from Nevadar?
For those of you who don't know, who are new to the show, and I think most of you, I don't see anybody in here right now that's new to the show.
That's fair.
I was gonna explain the fact that Nevendar is easily our most dedicated viewer, because it's way in the middle of the night for him right now. So, go ahead.
I was going to say it's closer for him getting up than it is going to bedtime for there. Right.
No doubt about it. So, for those of you watching along at home, how's the picture quality? Is it at all improved from the old show? If it's not, I'm going to be just a tiny little bit sad. It doesn't look,
on my end, it's legit on my end.
Good.
It's really good.
It doesn't look any different from my end. That's why I was a little bit concerned.
The Pat Go says it's awesome, so it's looking good.
Good. Well,
I mean, a good time at War Machine Weekend. I hope to make it eventually, but unfortunately, it comes along at the busiest point in my job.
Hey, I understand, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll make it somewhere. I almost made it to, or almost was going to make it to my brain just stopped TempleCon this year, or next year, but nothing came through right. Real life's coming and giving me a couple jabs.
Okay. Well, you got to take care of business first and foremost.
Yeah, I don't want to take away from Brett Painter. I'm already taking away his co-hosting. I want to take away from his John time.
He had a bit of a personal tragedy, so the positivity engine and all the love of the MenothJohn show goes out to Brett right now. He's
absolutely
having a tough time, and so everybody out there, focus that positive energy towards Mr. Brett Painter. He's a dear friend, great guy, and future snuggle mate. He's got a lot. He's got a lot to live up to, though, having just spent the weekend sleeping with Strider.
Fair enough.
So that's Strider. He's a lot of man. Let me tell you what.
I will take your word on it. I haven't met him.
Are you familiar with who Strider is?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big Chain Attack fan.
Okay. He is.
He's my second favorite Chain Attack guest host.
You know how to bread. You know which side your bread is buttered on.
Absolutely. And it's true to boot. You're a little more amusing on there than he is sometimes.
This is the 920 camera. This is it's a Logitech C920. I got the recommendation for this camera from MkII of mgaming.net. A great website. I highly recommend you visit it often and bookmark it. And Maddie has the spoilers the second they're available, and he has some great videos that he puts up of actual gameplay, and he is at every major con with his rigs.
Yeah, he gets all the good stuff. I was so happy I could just check and go, oh, look, House Guard Dane's there. What does that do?
Holy cow! What does it not do? Ladies and gentlemen, Rhett's legit. It just happened.
And relatively legit anyways. Having just started playing at my local dojo. They're pretty legit anyways.
I don't disagree with that.
About doing what you can with what you got.
I don't disagree with that. I think that a lot of people who've played Rhett in the past that have been vocal complainers about it tend to fall into the trap of the all guns all the time line. And if you play it that way, and you can run up against some extremely hard counters.
And it turns out that melee is a legitimate answer to stealth.
Sure is. And between House Guard, Halberdiers, and Sentinels, they can get a lot of work done.
Yeah, I'm using the heck out of Invictors, because they can do both.
Yeah, Invictors are amazing.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it a lot. I think she traded all of my Signar, or most of my Signar, for Rat. And I've been enjoying the heck out of it.
I'm going to tell you what, now that they have legitimate stealth denial, they do Signar better than Signar does across the board. Except take Mercs. The only thing they don't do as well is they don't take Mercs as well.
That's true, but Mercs are my main army, so when I started playing Signar, I'm like, after I played Mercs for a while, it's like, what am I doing here? Well, I just play the Mercs.
Yeah. So, Neek made a Neek, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Because I don't want to mispronounce it. Just wait for Assyria. Yeah, she's going to be completely legit.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I should be just about to ready to play new casters when she comes out. I did Raven and Ossian through our Journeyman League, and now I'm doing Virus and Kalyssa.
I like Kalyssa.
Yeah, I got to stomp the heck out of a P. Denny player in our local store with her. That was good times.
Yeah, P. Denny just went on the endangered species list with Kalyssa on the table. I'm going to tell you what, I played a lot of scrambles when I was at War Machine Weekend, which are just like small 8-person tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And I played against a Kalyssa list that had the 2 Thanes in it with House Guard Halberdiers and Sentinels, and then Eris 3 attached to a bunch of the infiltrators. That list made me lose my will to live. I looked at the guy turn 2 when he had I was playing Protectorate, and I was playing Krios 3, and this guy beat the Krios 3 right out of me. I looked after he had smashed into my lines, and I went, you know what, I got nothing. This isn't going to end well, and I'm just going out. Good game. There was nothing I could do. It had been a long time since I've just straight up quit on a game. And I said, I'm sorry if I'm giving you a bad negative play experience by hanging up my hat, but this is pointless.
Yeah, well, she's good. I can't wait to get to Thane. You have to buy some riflemen, but one thing at a time. It's got the most OP power, most OP model in red.
Yep.
And that would be Dahlia and Scarab.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah. After watching the final with Flanzer, I'm like, I should really, really buy that model.
Yep. It's a POW 14 magical spray, and a bite with quick consume is no joke. Especially,
I love all the minion warlocks, the lesser warlocks. They're all cool.
Yep. I just recently purchased Wrong Eye and Snapjaw because I've got Cricks and I also have a Galleon with my Mercs. So I played against a bunch of Earthbreakers too. Let me tell you a little something about that stupid little jack. That thing hits like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, mine's still in the box, but it'll get some love soon. Soon it will get some love. I just don't want to break it out while I'm busy playing Ret, because then I won't be playing Ret, I'll be playing Mercenaries again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's see here. So far we're on Ash. We've painted all the silvers once. We've painted the blues on to where eventually was going to be purple. Now we're coming back in, we're putting the purples in. And would your wife like a little turn at the microphone as a guest host?
Well, she's playing her game, and the bird keeps jumping on her head and going down and saying hi over her head, which is cute, but she's trying to concentrate. So, a new bird.
You got a new bird?
Yeah, the other one died, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it happens, but, the new one's, she's cute. We named her Crash, and she dies.
Does that mean I should have named my dog Toxic Waste Machine?
That may be a little too close to point.
Okay, yeah, Neek. Okay, so Neek, I did get it right. That's awesome. I don't check the chat window every second, but pretty happy with how the new table. My girlfriend Belinda gave me a new table, and it's pretty sweet. Before the end of the podcast, I'll pull back and let you see the whole rig as it's set up. And I got I've got this little cutting table thing here that I never had before.
Oh, the cutting mat? Yeah, those are nice.
Yep. All right, so now I'm going to put the purple away for a little while. I think I'm going to work on some grays for the stone it's at her feet. And Iron Hall seems kind of... I'm going to go with Bastion Gray. For the stone, and then we'll probably wash that down and do all kinds of stuff with it. She's painting up reasonably quickly, too, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, she's looking good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I've got her on a Dragon Forge design base, and then she's got that special base that comes with her. So I've got her on a dockside base, and then she's going to have the stones coming up off the dock, like it's a transition from the docks up to kind of a more of a stone building type of a thing.
That's cool.
At least that's the idea.
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd started from scratch with all my stuff, been able to use all resin bases, but most of my stuff, a lot of my stuff, original stuff came secondhand. So
Yep, I hear you. I was going to do that. I think I'm going to try and stick with having resin bases for my Signar because that's all on resin bases so far. But I'm working on. I've got a second set of precursor knights, a second unit of them. I just busted them out of the box, and I'm looking at them and going, maybe just one of them goes on the Dragon Forge design. One will be a Signar unit, the other one will be the mercenary unit.
well, that's cool.
And then if I'm running the Connie list, then she just called up some of her precursor buddies that are mercenaries, and I'll just justify it that way.
That'll definitely work.
Yeah, it's good enough for me.
Speaking of resin bases, I just started getting some Infinity models, and I've been putting all those in resin bases.
See, now that makes sense because you with the Infinity, you've only got a fewer number of models.
Yeah.
Doing War Machine, you end up sending Jeff your paycheck.
Yeah. I wouldn't really think about getting all resin bases for all my stuff. That'd be crazy talk.
Yeah. All right, now we're gonna put some brown on those boards for there. Let's see here. All the talk about King of Tokyo gave me a really cool new hobby project idea. After I finish the sculpting project, I may have to try sculpting the monsters from King of Tokyo. Holy cow! That's some ambition right there, kids.
Yeah, that's one step above my store's idea of getting just plastic monsters to play with and making up just generic monster cards for during their next grand open, their next birthday, just for some fun in the front of the store while the tournaments are going on in the back.
That is a cool idea.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. We get I talked to the owner. We get to get top billing again during the birthday. We get to have the only tournaments again because we've been so good with the store and the War Machine crew.
Cool.
Take that 40K in fantasy.
All right. Well, this was a mistake. Okay, so we're gonna put that away right away. I should have gone darker for the. I'm going to use a little bit darker brown underneath the... let's get some umber for the gravel. Then I'll have the boards be a little bit lighter.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That'll work.
See how many... I got to take a look and see here how many people we got in the chat room right now. We got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's pretty good. Since we got 15 watchers, I'm kind of down with that.
Couple people. I'll give a shout out to Greg right now, G Zealot, my cousin.
Nice. Welcome to the show, Gizo. All right, and then one star 53 finally made it to the chat room. That's good. Congratulations for using your internets. Okay, so let me get down and dirty in the mud here with Ashley. Take my glasses off too, so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. So I hope everybody's having a good time here tonight. We're going to try and keep the show on a regular basis. Sunday, same time as this, same bad time, same bad channel. The reason the show disappeared last time was I was doing the show from my kitchen table. And that was making me sad. And my brother and sister, who are super cool people, my father passed away in June. And part of the estate was used to redo the basement. And that's where I'm at right now, is in the basement. And it is amazing. They... put some money. They put a lot of money into it. It's got new carpeting, new walls, new lighting. It's absolutely fantastic down here now. And now I've got my table set up. Lucky enough to get this beautiful table from Belinda to work on. And I've got my father's old workbench in the other room is now my assembly area, and his old desk is the airbrush area, and so it's working out really slick. And so we'll keep the show going as long as there's people that want. I got a lot of feedback that from at War Machine Weekend even that, hey, we missed the show and we wanted to come back, and I was like, stay tuned.
And Colin put a thread up on the news forum about bringing you back.
I didn't even see that. That's nice. When did that go out?
A month ago, maybe.
That's nice. Colin's nice.
Yeah.
Don't tell him I said that.
Absolutely not.
He's a Bears fan. By the way, nice job, Bears fan. Your team rocks.
Well, I was just happy to see that they won last week when my store owner was in Chicago at the stadium for the game. If you're going to make that kind of trip, at least have your team win.
There you go. They lost today.
Yeah.
And this is now sports with MenothJohn. You don't expect that. And then we got a tie from the Packers today. But the happy news is we think we found a quarterback until Aaron gets back. Should have been who was in there in the first place, because Matt Flynn at least knew what the hell the offense was.
Yeah, well, just goes to show you sometimes leaving isn't the right choice.
No.
Then again, he made probably a fair amount of money from just bouncing around the league for 2 years.
Why, yes. Yes, he did. But, I'm not a huge sports fan, but I like to watch my Packers.
Yeah, I'm not a huge sports fan either. A little bit, but I haven't been feeling it this year so much.
It's been a weird year for football.
Yeah.
It's been a really odd year. I mean, the Patriots aren't what the Patriots used to be. You've got teams like the Chiefs who are doing stuff. It's a bizarro world.
Indeed. Now you got the worst teams in the league ripping off 2 straight wins. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy now.
Who won?
The Jaguars won and the Bucs won.
Shut up! The Bucs pulled that game out.
Yeah.
Dang. That's some good stuff right there.
Make sure I'm remembering correctly.
Hey, Rinth.
Yep.
Check that out.
Actually, Rinth was at the ATC also. He's apparently local to that area.
Rinth was at War Machine Weekend, so he was my enabler for beers during the Cluster F-a-Palooza. Okay, time to get another shot of Kraken. So this is now the second half release of the Kraken. No, this is the second third of the show release of the Kraken. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little Kraken going here. And put a little Kraken next to Ashland. Yeah, I've also got my laptop plugged into an Ethernet jack now, so that's another thing that's making things probably a little bit more awesome. So for the second third of the show, this Kraken's for you. Hey, Ron! I gotta put my glasses back on because I can't see the chat window. It's too far away. I'm too old.
There's a lot of chatting with Giselle and was that Neek?
Neek, yeah.
His paint scheme, yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
So Jotan was asking. Jotan is from Malaysia, I believe. He was asking about if I'd seen any paint schemes this year that were particularly interesting to me at War Machine Weekend. And okay, there he is. Jotan's online. Awesome. It's interesting. This year was kind of different for me with how I approached War Machine Weekend versus others. I did a lot less Iron Arena and did a lot more of the scrambles. And so I didn't get as much of a chance, because I was playing timed turns, I didn't get as much of a chance to really get into the nitty gritty of looking at other people's paints. Once again, D. Vader, Chris from the St. Louis area won the painting competition, and his stuff is just amazing. And I'm noticing right now that Ashlyn's missing her smokestack.
Uh-oh.
And you know what? Do you know how much I'm going to care about that? Almost not at all. Because people will look at the rest of it, and I'll just kind of hide it a little bit. She has an inverted smokestack. We'll just get that.
Yeah, that was a tiny bit I remember from the pack.
Okay,
almost threw it out as flash.
I might have done that. I'm now painting her boobs. So, for those of you who are at home, if you'd like to, you can watch the tip of my paintbrush as it paints her boobs. Very exciting for the nerds out there like myself. Okay, so we're going to give her a little bit more. Now, the way I'm going to do this armor is after I get a good, healthy base coat on it, and it gets time to start doing washes, that's when it's really going to come alive. Because this is I'm planning on using a very similar technique to what I used with my Retribution, which was I do a sepia wash with it, and then I use a little bit of Agric Earthshade or possibly some Devlin Mud, since I now have some Devlin Mud again. I found it. And then I come back and I re-highlight it with the silver that I'm using. And I'm sorry if I'm holding this at a weird angle for the camera, but I'm doing the best I can to actually paint the model. And I hope that you're all able to see what I'm doing.
No, it's looking good.
I've got one of the YouTube videos that I spied upon when I was looking at buying this camera turned me on to a Mac app called Webcam Settings that allows me to manually adjust. It allows me to turn off the autofocus, and it allows me to do manual adjustment of the aperture and the exposure and things like that. And I'm really happy with how it has worked out so far with the picture quality on it.
Yeah, it's looking good. I can see some detail on the model and all.
Good. Yeah, you couldn't see that on the old camera. The old camera was kind of a piece of crap. But
once in a while, you get that perfect focus, and you'd be like, I see everything.
There's a model. There's a model there. Yeah. Yep. So, get plates here a little bit. It's a kind of a thing I was always taught was that, it's just the devil's in those little details on armor. Like if you go back and you catch those little bits of paint splatter where you may have bled one paint onto another, and you crisp those up, that the eye catches those little imperfections if you don't do something about them.
That's one of the good things about the wash afterwards. Is that some of those really minor ones that clears it up a little bit or hides them.
It really does. You're absolutely right. So John and I were chatting a little bit before the show starts, because we figured we better probably make sure the equipment frickin' works and stuff like that, because we're not totally professional on this show, but we would like it not to be a painful experience for the audience. We were talking. I've assembled my flame bringers, and I'm pretty excited. I'm going to try a list on Tuesday, which is our local game store War Machine night, and I'm going to run an army where the slowest speed model is 7 for Protectorate.
That's pretty impressive. Daughters are 7 too?
Daughters are 7. And it's going to have Daughters, Flamebringers, Vengers, 2 units of Daughters. Okay, the Blood of Martyrs is only 5. But the Blood of Martyrs is going to be bringing up the rear and all that kind of stuff. So I suppose the choir is only speed 6. I lied. This list has lots of models that are less than 7.
Yeah, but the main models are 7 or more. That's what's required for the theme.
So yeah, Giselle, it's got all the calves and daughters. So I'm gonna try I'm gonna try it out. I want to. The problem is that she doesn't have a feat that punishes you if you jam into a jam, and this list is gonna jam like a son of a gun. A little bit of a conversation going on there about secret weapon washes, and I have a secret. I have the Secret Agent Soft Body Black, which I have been using as a substitute for armor wash, and I think it works pretty good. I would like to try. Are there other secret weapon washes that would be a good replacement for Devlin Mud? That's a question out to the group.
Well, they're probably going to tell you the Army Painter, one of the toads. I think, Nick said Strong Toad was replacement for Devlin Mud.
Strong Toad?
I haven't tried them. Yeah, Strong Toad. I haven't tried them myself yet, but they have them at the local store.
Now, Strong Toad, is that a secret weapon, or is that a...
Army Painter.
Army Painter, okay. Cool. Now we're going to do her flagpole up here with the brass balls. Man, I was so happy when Privateer figured out how to make metallics again.
Oh, yeah. I got one bottle of the old Radiant Palladium, and it worked really good for a little bit, and then just went to heck.
Turns into jelly.
Yeah.
It's the damnedest thing. Yeah, this is going to take about 45 coats. Holy cow.
Well, while we're talking about products, I was using the GF9 Hobby Glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, not recommended that anymore. It dies pretty quick. I had 2 bottles go bad in the course space of 2 weeks. Now they're older bottles, but they're still pretty much half full.
That sucks. Basically to the point where you couldn't take the top off of them.
Well, no, I took the top off, but they took forever. They didn't dry quick at all.
Interesting.
Dry super slow. So the new hotness is Gorilla Super Glue.
I've used Gorilla Super Glue. I think it works pretty good. I'm actually right now I'm using P3, and I'm a fan. I really like it. I think it's got a really nice compromise between its set strength and the fact that I can actually clean the bottle off without getting a bunch of like paper onto the bottle. And I think that's going to help it so that I can actually use the whole bottle rather than have the situation where I can't get the top off of it. I wipe the silly ass thing all the time. You know, every time I put it away, I wipe the whole thing down with a paper towel to make sure that I don't have any little hidden bits on it.
Yeah, my 2 suggestions are always wipe the tip, and when you put it down after a bunch of use, put it down like a shot glass after a shot. A little bit of force makes a lot of it just go back down into the bottle itself.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is this is Painting with MenothJohn exclusive advice. Make sure you wipe the tip and slam it down.
Exactly.
I think that's all advice that we can take with us to our regular lives and just be happy we have that. And I want you all to realize that you get all of Painting with MenothJohn for free. None of it is a pay. You don't have to pay for any bonuses. It's 100% free here on Painting with MenothJohn. There are no lost chapters. There is no dojo. There is only Painting with MenothJohn. I bring value.
Absolutely.
I don't bring values, but I have value. I can't believe
honestly, the dojo is pretty good.
Oh, the dojo's awesome. I'm not throwing my buddies underneath the bus. I'm just.
I haven't listened to lost chapters for a D6 Gen, but because honestly, I have a hard time listening to all their podcasts because it's long as heck.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yep. Yes, it is, and I'm finding Mr. Gallant to be really crotchety lately, and I'm just not enjoying listening to his voice as much as I used to.
I do really like the fact that they have excellent timestamps. So it's like, oh, I want to hear about, say, the Firefly board game. Oh, this timestamp, go.
Oh my God, is that a good board game?
It's fun.
Belinda and I have been playing it. I'm taking it to the Christensen holiday get-together in Columbus. It's going to be awesome.
Our problem is every time we've been teaching new people how to play, it looks like it's been taking longer than normal because of that. So eventually we'll get everyone trained up to speed and it'll be fine. But our first game took forever. I think I left the store at like 12:30 a.m., something like that.
Wow.
Well, Devil Squid was running it and he works there, so he can stay late. It's kind of nice.
There you go. Yeah, I have. I've only it seems like every time I sit down, I'm breaking a new player in, and I end up playing the first, the trial one that's they have from their website, and that is son of a gun because nice job, John. You just completely holds up the star. Yay! Painting skills. It ends damn suddenly. Okay, this flag is going to be a huge pain in the butt to paint.
Oh yeah, well, it's lots of fine detail. I haven't played that introductory scenario for Firefly. We just grabbed one of the random ones and went with that.
Okay.
Oh God, Lust, we're veteran gamers. We're jumping all the way in.
I hear that can be a mistake in that game.
Yeah, it can. But it is hilarious when the Alliance cruiser shows up on Devil Squid every time he's about to drop off his illegal cargo and takes it all. It is so hilarious. It was like 3 or 4 times straight. It was just hilarious.
I had a game where the damn Reavers showed up and took my whore. I was unpleased with that. It's like, God dang it, I brought her along because I needed some negotiation. I didn't have any negotiation. Now I really don't have any negotiation because she's dead. Or better, or will be soon.
Well, hopefully she's dead, let's be honest.
Yeah. The hands of a Reaver, yes. We're hopeful that she doesn't live long.
But yeah, it's a fun game. I don't know if I play it every week, but it's good fun. Though our current favorite is Cards Against Humanity, because
that's a good party game.
Oh my God!
I think my favorite card in there is the Amish. It can literally be used for anything.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. We played it once, and we all sort of figured out everyone's trump cards. Like, oh, you play this on this person, you got a good chance of winning, no matter what it is. And one of the guys, I forget what it was. It was the guys in like Rwanda that had genocide.
Yeah.
That one, like, he just went on a rant because nobody knew what that was about except him. So it's like that's his trump card. He's in the Tutsis. Play that for him. He's just gonna pop a vein in his head because no one knows what it is, and you'll win.
Excellent.
Apparently, mine is 8 ounces of sweet Mexican black tar heroin. But
I'm gonna play. I'm actually gonna sneak that one in on the family.
Well, my family's played Apples to Apples. They're ready for this game.
I was gonna say, you guys ever played Apples to Apples? Yes. It's like that, but for horrible people.
Yeah, I don't know if that would. I think they could play. I don't own it. One of the guys, actually, 2 of the people bought it. One person bought the basic set, and another guy played it once, loved it, and bought all the sets.
Yeah, I think I have the basic set, and I think I have all the sets I need.
Yeah, that's all you really need.
I have all the the Cards Against Humanity I could ever want.
I do like having the blank cards when you've got like an inside joke for your store or your local players. You can write it down on those.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we've gotten a couple in there that are funny. Now, some people who don't know the joke in there, like, I don't get this, but we put in the joke, and it's like super hilarious.
It's like, that's okay, it's not for you.
Yeah.
So can I get a beverage update from the chat room? If you guys are having a beverage, I'd love to know what you're drinking this evening. If you're enjoying the return of MenothJohn, Hinting with MenothJohn, I'd appreciate that as well.
Well, on my end, I'm still drinking the cherry Coke.
All right, good for you, man. I'm still painting remarkably well, given my second shot of Kraken is about to go down my neck. Apple Orchard Crisp. Can't argue with that. Angry Orchard Crisp. Cannot argue with that. That's one of my favorites.
I feel like I need to know what a Buddy Hunk cocktail is, though.
Yeah, that needs more. That needs a lot more explanation. By a lot of explanation, I'm not sure I don't want to know. All right, we got some more Kraken in the house. We're happy to hear about that. This show is not sponsored by the Kraken.
Absinthe, whiskey, and gin. Very good.
Nice. Speaking of absinthe, I'm going up to. My girlfriend and I are talking about going up to Great Lakes Distillery in Milwaukee, and they make their own absinthe there.
Oh, cool.
Place rocks. I'm not sure if I've seen, but I don't know if Belinda's watching or not. She said she was going to. She was here earlier, and then she took off.
Oh, Giselle, of course you're not drinking. You're not old enough to drink. Okay, actually, he is old enough to drink, but I like to make fun of him. Because he's my cousin, and obviously I've known him my whole life. He's young.
How young is he?
Oh, I have to do math. He's, 12 years younger than me?
Okay, but he's old enough that I'm not going to get in trouble for having him on the show, right?
No.
All right, that's good.
Oh, yeah. That's good for you, Giselle. Just tell everyone that you drink a lot more than me. That worked out well for you, didn't it?
That's something to be very prideful of.
Yeah. If there are high school kids who probably had more alcohol than I have. Okay, probably not. Let's be honest.
So my most prideful thing that I have for War Machine Weekend is that I didn't get hammered the whole. Well, I didn't get as hammered as I got last year.
Oh, I actually listened to the Chain Attack War Machine Weekend, like the bonus podcast from last year, like a week ago.
Oh boy, I was in a bad place.
But still, it's a good podcast. It was good fun.
I was in a bad place. Well, about 40 more coats on there, and that ought to be about right.
That's looking good. I love the moldy ochre. It's my favorite yellow base or yellow substitute.
Yeah, I got a lot of cleanup work to do. Let's see. Giselle had a Black Russian today. What was her name? and good on you, brother.
No comment. I've got this Manticore here almost fully assembled from the battle box.
Nice. I'd be okay with a blind Russian, too, because that'd be my best chance of scoring with one. Because if she was blind. She must have. Alright, so... I gotta remember, I gotta keep reminding myself I'm in a relationship here.
I've been reminding myself of that for a while.
She's an amazing lady. I'm very happy.
Absolutely. She was worried I was going to be upset when I come home and she was working on my computer because she messed it up to fix hers. And like, I thought you were going to be upset. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's a computer. Go get it fixed. Ain't no thing.
Nice.
A wall-kicking Griffin for the battle box, Griffin. I was not planning on it, but I may. That sounds amusing. Imagine it could be said it's kicking in a wall.
Nice.
Well, I'll take a look at that when we get to the Griffin.
I think I need to put a little bit of flavor. I'm sorry, go ahead. The Griffins are cool.
It'll be my third, so I'll be ready when I actually play Virus 2. I'll have 3 of those and 2 Aspis. Seems like a good core.
It's so funny. People who don't play Protectorate on a regular basis who then E-Virus, I can do all the light spam. Can I tell you what kind of a trap that is?
I've played against the Menoth version at the ATC the second day. We did just a steamroller, and I played against Amon for round one.
Somebody brought that list, huh?
Yeah, we didn't have all lights, but he had a bunch of lights, a bunch of jacks, and it was pretty good. But it turns out that Amon does not like Harlan Versch with Fortune on him.
Nope.
After Corman blinds you.
No, he just falls over dead.
He was in a wreck marker, so it did help a little bit, but not enough.
No. Because he has...
It was good times, though.
Yep.
And he was a good opponent. He was a good guy. He's like, why are you rolling an extra die? I don't have enough. Keep like synergy? He's like, oh.
Yeah, you have an extra upkeep. You have an upkeep, buddy. If you don't, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, but one of the guys, Cindervale, who occasionally jumps on here, plays a virus to Jack spam, and when that thing works, it works really good.
The Amon version of it, I've had up to a synergy chain of 7 or 8, and I anchor that thing with a Reckoner. And I'm going to tell you what, it is better than pretty good sex when it goes off. But it almost never goes off. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying him eventually. Wow, I see what it means about the wall kicking Griffin. You put a link there. It's pretty cool. It's like it's leaping. You jumped up and now leaping off the wall.
Nice. So in my world, Ashlyn's not a blonde. Because I don't care for blondes.
That's fair.
So she's going to have brown hair, light brown hair. Frankly, because it shades better.
I'm not sure when I would get my Ashlyn. I've got the one that Spud converted up for me or sculpted up for me.
Nice.
I haven't gotten around to painting her yet. She's primed and ready to go, but the ATC pretty much changed my painting schedule since you had to have 2 painted 50-point lists with specialists. That took a lot of my painting time.
Who did you take to the ATC?
Well, I did all my practice with Gordon and McBain, and then with about a month left, I dropped McBain for Mad Hammer.
Okay.
Boy, Mad Hammer's so much fun.
Oh, Mad Hammer's a gas.
I mean, I love McBain. He was my favorite mercenary podcaster, yeah, warcaster, but Mad Hammer has slowly inched his way ahead.
Let's face it, I'm your favorite mercenary podcaster.
Absolutely.
I'm totally a mercenary.
He's going to make sure you get on all the podcasts you can.
So did you hear the nickname that Chain Attack gave me? The Podfather.
The Podfather, yeah. You've been on Roof and Play, haven't you?
Yep, once.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again.
I like listening to those guys at times 2 speed because they get some good stuff, but they run a little long.
I like Omnis very much. He's a nice guy.
And their battle report podcast. This is kind of amusing occasionally. I feel like me some occasional battle reports.
Yeah, no problem with that. I mean, I'm not gonna speak ill of them.
No.
Who am I listening to? So I still listen to my Chain Attack. I still listen to Muse. I listen to Crippled System. Listen to D6G. Fear the Boot. She's cute as a light-haired brown. I like her as a light-haired brown. Alright, so I gotta fix her face now. I managed to F that all up. Let's see here. It is 8:04, so we should have the 3rd edition, the ultimate pouring of the Kraken. So we're gonna have one more shot. See, now if I release the Kraken earlier, I can release it more frequently. And since I'm not drinking a beer alongside it or any beers next to it, I'm not going to get myself looped up either, so that's kind of a good thing. Chain Attack Dojo, Muse, Crippled Systems are for me these days. That's good. It's good to hear. Those are all excellent choices. So here's to being back on the radio with you, John, and being back on the internet with my good buddies there in the chat window. This is a nice way to kind of wind down a weekend and spend some time with good folks. You've been with me along through some difficult times in the last few months, and this one's for you, to the Painted with MenothJohn regulars. Hey, Ron. So I've made a lot of progress on this little girl on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. She's coming along.
She's not ready for washes yet. I need to revisit her purples a little bit. I got to strengthen them up. Does anybody out there in the chat window know what a good highlight for the beaten purple is? I got Gene Stealer purple from Citadel, but it's like just the wrong color. It's like this ridiculous light pink purple stuff here that I'm putting on the camera right now. It's just it's wrong. It's not going to highlight worth a crap. Does anybody have any ideas?
I cannot help you. I'm not familiar with that purple.
It's the Formula P3, the beaten purple, and I'm thinking I'm going to put some Ruled Gold on her sword because I kind of like Ruled Gold on it. Exile Blue.
Ruled Gold is amazing.
Yeah. I think I've got a brand spanking new one here in the old cupboard too. So this one's starting to get a little jelly. But so I think I'm gonna do some on her sword.
Now, see, Greg, that was proper use of the word jelly.
You hate that word too, huh?
When used in that way, yes.
I almost had to beat Brett Painter to death.
He hasn't done that around me.
He does it just to get my goat because he knows I hate it. He's just a bad person.
Well, hopefully he won't do it when he's at a tournament or something. I don't know if he's showing up for our next tournament or not. I hope he is.
If he shows up at TempleCon and he starts dropping the jelly, I can't be held responsible for what could happen to his aura fighter on the night.
Fair enough.
There we go. Now we're warming up the podcast. Get another shot at me, I'll be crippled system.
I'm not sure I can hang with that, but I would give it my best.
That should be our slogan for Painting with MenothJohn. We're 3 shots away from being crippled system.
I like it. Well, we got the random talk.
What's that?
We've got too much War Machine content, I think, for that.
We do. Okay, I like that on there. I like a little bit of the Ruled Gold on her sword. It's pretty nice.
3 shots or half a bunny hug. Fair enough.
Aww. Good bunny.
So, like I said, I hope he shows up the next one. Our guy Centervale's going away. He's being deployed to Korea. He's in the Navy.
Uh-huh.
We're doing a Masters style, but only 35 points for him.
Cool.
Yeah, we got the squid to run it, and because I was going to help run it, but he wants me to play, so I'll play.
Guest of honor gets to make those kind of decisions.
Absolutely. But I tell you, 3 distinct ret lists is interesting to look at. Especially if I'm only sticking to the casters I've played or I'm currently playing. So I've only got 4 to choose from.
So I played in the scrambles that I played in were all 35-point scrambles. And I won one of them. And I came in 3rd place on the second one, and the 3rd one I got my poop kicked in.
That happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I played the one that I won was with Fiora 2. The one that I took 3rd with was Harbinger. And let me tell you how rough she is at 35 points. Holy cow.
You want to one up that rough? At the ATC round 2, I get to play against Brian White, playing Harbinger.
Hey, I understand he's pretty good at this game.
He is. We had a really good game, and if I'd been able to take care of some daughters in my backfield, I would have won. But he played a good game, had some good tactics, and we had a good talk afterwards.
I got to see, I didn't really know who Brian White was until War Machine Weekend this year, and I had the opportunity to sit behind him while he played Harbinger versus Flanzer.
Mm-hmm.
And Flanzer eventually won that game, but I certainly took a lot away from that game. He's an excellent player. He's meticulous. He plays a very technically strong game. He plays it differently than I do, and that's fine. I've had good luck with my Harbinger list at 50 points. I don't play it as jack heavy as he does, and at 35 points, I definitely don't play it as jack heavy as he does. I play one jack with her, and that's the Blessing of Vengeance. Because Fear of God, when you stick it, can be a game changer.
Yeah, he was not playing jack heavy when we played. He had one jack, the No Magic Shield Guard one.
Oh, Devout. Yep.
Yeah, Devout.
Helps keep her alive, no doubt about it. In the scrambles that I played and in the Chain Attack Invitational, I never got her killed because of an assassination. I got her killed the time that I got her killed was against Rinth, and I did not. I bonered it because I charged her into MkII 3, and I should have cataclysmed, and I thought I was going to pouch Walver to death. That's funny.
Yeah, not so much of that.
That was a bad idea.
That's how he got me.
Oh,
he did double cataclysm to my face.
Yep.
And then I made a tough roll with McBain.
Yep. So
he charged me with a daughter. So I made another tough roll.
Oh!
And then the last one got me. I'm like, grrr!
Nevendar, you go to bed, buddy. He's got to get up at 6 a.m. Get the hell up on out of here. Thanks for coming to the show, though, buddy.
He can get 2.5 hours of sleep or so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it must. I'm not sure how intensive a job it is there at IKEA, because that's all they got in Sweden, right? Is IKEA? That's like the number one employer. I'm just kidding. I kid because I love Chris. You know that. IKEA.
I think that's where everyone's brain goes first.
IKEA. It's the best song ever.
I still like Code Monkey myself. But.
See, I'm not an IT guy,
no.
So it doesn't resonate for me the way that maybe it does some people. But IKEA and the Future Soon resonates for me.
Really good too.
Yeah, Giselle, it's we're talking about Jonathan Colton, perhaps the greatest troubadour of our generation.
Perhaps.
Okay, so let's see. What else am I going to do with this? I'm feeling like I need to put some paint on her face because her face is kind of a hot mess right now.
Well, I find faces are pretty much a hot mess until that time when you're totally done and you're like, oh, now it's good.
Did you see my Dougal McNeil that I posted on my Facebook?
Yes, I did. It was very good.
He turned out okay. Except for his eyes. He still looks like a mongoloid.
I don't paint eyes.
You know, I play Protectorate. I shouldn't have to paint eyes.
Exactly. I just don't. I let the wash seep in and be the dark shade there and be like, done.
Good enough.
Yeah. I know my limitations.
It's important to know your limitations. I keep on trying to figure it out. I mean, I know the theory on eyes, you know. Paint a black line, paint 2 vertical white lines, fill in with a flesh tone. I mean, I get the theory, all that kind of good stuff. But So, my girlfriend turned me on to a show that maybe some of you have heard of. It's called Game of Thrones.
Nope, never heard of it.
Yep. It's pretty good. And by pretty good I mean it's kind of amazing.
It's on HBO, correct?
Yeah, and I'm able to stream it on. And they've got the all the episodes on streaming through my cable company.
That's cool.
Here I got a question for you, John. If you look here on Ashland, she's got a secondary cloak underneath her. Underneath she's got the purple main cloak. Then she's got this part underneath here that is in the middle. Should I paint that a different color? Do you think?
I wouldn't. It's far enough in the back. It probably would detract from the model.
You think?
If it was too different, it would draw your eyes down too low and take away from the overall effect of the model.
But it would draw your eyes right to her crotch.
That's also kind of uncomfortable.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't do that then. And then let's see here. So I've got to figure out. I think all of that I'll just let get shaded when I throw the washes on her. I want the blade to be silver. I'm looking at her sword and I'm just thinking. I'm wondering if it's a little boring looking here. Maybe I should paint. I know what I'll do. I'll paint just the handle of the sword a different color. I'll go into like a brown color, just to give it a little bit of something.
That, or you take the the bassinet or whatever, the curved edge that you would block with, paint that like a different color, something not too bright, but something a little more, a little different, just to change it. Maybe paint that purple.
Oh, there you go.
That way, it looks like she painted it purple to go with her country's colors, and it would give you a good triple purple there, and then it would make the face be the bright point that draws you in to the center of the model.
That's a really good suggestion. I like that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to definitely do that. So I'm putting the wood on the handle of the sword right now. That's gonna look nice in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'll do that. I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint the. Now, what did you call it? A bassinet?
I think that's what it is. I'm not super up on swords.
It's like the handguardy thing, right?
Handguardy thing, exactly.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Chris, I see your suggestion of painting it her cloak a darker shade of purple. The unfortunate part is I don't have a darker shade of purple, and as a result, I would have to go to like an MkII blue or something like that. And I think it's probably going to, as John said, I think it's going to pop too much, and I think it's going to just be detracting.
That's definitely not a bassinet. That is something else entirely.
I'm going to tell you what, right now, from now on, it is a bassinet. And the French can come over here and complain their sorry little croissant-eating hearts out, because it's a bassinet for me, and it's a bassinet on painting with MenothJohn.
There you go.
So make sure you all paint your bassinets, whether the baby's in them or not.
I know it has a name, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I thought it was that, but hey,
I'm pretty sure it's not called a handguardy thing.
No.
Pretty sure that's not it. And I'm kind of grooving on it being purple. I'm liking it.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time talking to one of the painters at Games Workshop when I worked there, and he gave me a lot of little nuggets like that I keep about colors on the model and how to focus the eyes where you want them. Which is funny, because I was at Games Workshop, I didn't paint a darn thing.
Wait. You're supposed to be painting things if you're at Games Workshop.
Oh, I tell you what, answering people's crazy questions all day occasionally takes the joy out of it.
Okay, someone needs to help me understand this sick perversion I have called, I like watching 40K bat reps. I like watching live play of 40K. I have no interest in picking any models up. I have no interest in playing the game. But I like watching other people play the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've seen the guys in the store play, and they have a blast, and that's awesome. Maybe it's just they're having fun and it's infectious,
They seem to be enjoying the hell out of it. And for everything that I've heard about what a terrible game it is, and I've never played it, and that could be part of the fascination too. Is that fascination that comes with something you've never done? They seem to be having a terrific time with it, even though they're the first ones to admit that the stuff that they're doing is completely OP and goofy and all this kind of stuff. I guess good on you, as long as it makes you happy.
Yeah, as long as you're having fun, who really cares? At the end of the day, it's about having fun.
Yeah, that's kind of what this show is predicated on. I'm not a great painter, but I have fun. And I enjoy doing this with my podcasting friends. My live audience friends and my podcasting friends. So, I want to give a kind of a bit of a preview. I've gotten to know Chris Johnson, who is better known as Explosivo, the guy that builds the finals tables for the War Machine Weekend finals, and he makes all of the trophies, all the really intricate trophies and stuff that they have, and he would like to be on the show, so we're going to have Explosivo on, and then we're going to try to have his brother, Explosive Bro, Richard Johnson, on. Had some great barbecue, Kansas City barbecue, with those fellas when I was out in Kansas City on some business. And so we'll have those guys on the show, and really excited about it. So we do need to figure out Google Hangouts if that's going to happen, John, because we can't do Skype does not allow you to do multiples. Does it let you do multiple audios?
I think Skype lets you do multiple audios, but not off of the iPad. I think I looked it up last time.
Okay.
You have to do it off the computer for that. But
maybe
if figure out Google Hangouts, let's be honest. It'll work. We're just going to figure it out.
Yep. We'll figure it out.
I've gotten done with my game on time, like I said, on Friday, and came home. And then it was like, oh, look, he's out. It's all good. I told you it wasn't going to be changing anything. I just didn't sit there and chat for 3 hours with everyone like I normally do.
Okay, that's cool. I'm sorry about that. I mean, I lost track of time, and Belle and I were hanging out. And
it's all good.
You're awesome and stuff, but I had to hang out with them.
No. I got everything done I wanted to at the store. Had a good game.
Cool. Thank you.
Who did I play? I don't remember who I played anymore. I guess it wasn't that good of a game. I played with Brian, that's right.
Neek was mentioning that Google Hangouts is pretty cool. That's where I met Neek. He's on Dice Rage Live with Tim Man XL, super awesome guy, and it's pretty nice. That's a fun. The problem is they have the damn show at in the afternoon on Wednesdays, and it's like it's in the middle of my work day, guys. Now
that's kind of tough.
Some of the fellows are from Europe that are on the show, and it's not quite the deal with them, but for me, that's when it's optimal for Tin Man. So because of his work schedule, it just happens to be that the afternoons are something he can do. And I think it works well pretty great for blog too, because I think he works mostly nights. So I think I have pushed Ash as far as I want to push her in one setting, to be honest. And she's turning out pretty okay. She's pretty rough around the edges still. We got a lot of work to do on her.
If she's already a tabletop, there are plenty of people who would be like, if my whole army looked like that, I'd be fine.
Yeah, she looks, as I hold her off in the distance, she actually looks better at a distance. But what I'm working towards here, guys, is being able to... I've got a list that I call critical mass. And critical mass is I put as many Merc units and models that have critical effects in it as I can. So I've got hammer dwarves and mules, and I've got Thor, driving a rock ram, and all kinds of critical stuff. So my goal is when I pop a roulette is to have all that stuff kind of go off at once, which I think will be hilarious. And so that's kind of the goal here.
Sounds like good fun.
Yeah, sounds like real good. Should be a good time. Well, I'm gonna put a bullet in my shot of Kraken here. So one more time. Hey, Ron. Well, it's good to be back in the saddle, folks.
Absolutely.
I'm going to figure out why the Bob Ross theme was yelling at me so vigorously. Don't understand what happened there, but it was pretty terrible, and I don't want to do that again. Tomorrow I've got parent-teacher conferences with Signard Jake, so that ought to be cool. Let's see here. I looked up for the calls, and you can be a part of a group conversation on the iPad, but you cannot start the group call. So maybe, John, I'd have you maybe start it and then pull me in.
Yeah, but it says there's no video. It's only voice now.
That's okay. I mean, I've got you on voice right now mostly because I didn't want to see your face. And
who can blame you?
I know you've got a great voice you got a great face for radio. God, look at how many people we have we have 16 people watching, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people in the chat room. That is fantastic. And I think we're going to probably, pot and cat. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, my face could probably stop a clock too. So there's nothing, I'm not going to get all super duper. So this is Ashlyn at the end of day one. I'm not sure if I'm in love with this purple over here for the bassinet. We're going to have to rethink that. I'm going to have to rethink that a little bit. But let me ask the group: would you prefer that I finish a project that I start on the show, or would you prefer that I, so I go beginning to end with it, or would you be okay with me finishing it during the week? What does the chat room think? I can see some value in finishing something that I started on the show, just so you can see it go from beginning to end. Doesn't matter at all. I'm beginning to think beginning to end would be nice. That's true. I think most people prefer that you paint whatever you want to paint. Aww, thanks, Nick. I love you too. I think if you finish it, at least post a finished picture. That's a good idea.
Time goes to that. At least bring it on later to show it to us.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. For right now, I think I'm going to probably work on Ash this week. I'm going to be heading off to Columbus, Ohio on Wednesday to go spend Thanksgiving at my sister's place. And I'm going to be bringing Love Letter, which is a wonderful game that I think we'll probably discuss next Sunday. And I'll be bringing Firefly and Zombicide along with that. And we'll talk with some more board games next week. We'll do some more Ashlyn next week, because I probably won't finish her up. And I'm probably going to work on some more Boom Howlers. I've got, for those of you who remember, this is what Boom Howler looks like. And I started working on another Boom Howler. So the pink skin Boom Howlers are continuing to move forward. But all right, guys. Well, I don't know what's going on with the outro music, so it'll be a little less professional than maybe some of our other shows were on the end. But I want to thank everybody for coming to the show tonight. I want to thank John Spencer for being my super awesome co-host. Take a bow, John.
Thanks for having me on. It's always enjoyable.
Absolutely, it was super great having you on. And I welcome you all back next week at 7 o'clock Central for another hour and a half of fun and frivolity here on Painting with MenothJohn. Have a good night, everybody, and be safe.